Hi everybody, welcome to RC Conversation in English class. This is week's 3 class. I'm gonna just explain a couple of things at the start and then hopefully everything will be okay and you'll understand everything you need for today's class. First of all, I want to say thank you for everything that you did, for sending your videos. Quite a few students sent their videos very late on Friday. It's not a problem. But sometimes it takes the time to catch up with all the work that you send me. So don't worry about your attendance. Don't worry if it says you're late or there's like a tardy, like that's late meaning. It doesn't matter because what's going to happen is I will get through it and I will say and check everything and I will respond to each one. And hopefully you got my messages that I sent, and I'm not good at guessing true or false. That happens, but no problem. It's all okay. And that's why they are laughing at me over here because I'm not very good at guessing true or false. Hopefully, it wasn't too stressful for you to make a video. I know it's not easy, and I know that it is stressful and hard to speak in English like on the spot. So that's why last week it was just easy. Maybe not easy. So I always say super easy. Maybe it isn't super easy, and I'm sorry. Wink, wink, I'm sorry. But what I want you to do is to practice. So the first week, you just did Google Docs. The second week, you made a short video just so I can hear your English. This week, you don't have to worry. There's nothing like that. All I need you to remember is your worksheet. So this week's class, I'm going to make sure that you fill in your worksheet and just submit it to eClass. Again, it's not assessment. It's just to make sure that you're doing the work. Google Center wants us to make sure that you submit something, and it's just really kind of like attendance. So make sure you submit your worksheet at the end of class. Okay, so after you finish class, you have until the end of the class day. Just submit it, and then your attendance will be checked. Okay, it should be super easy. If it's a problem or eClass has server error, which is possible, then just email me or Kakao Talk me, and then I'll just check to make sure you've seen the video, and then I'll check attendance. But it should work and it should be easy. You just go to eClass and go to assignments and submit, and it'll be perfect. But really, I want to say thank you. Everybody did a great job. Some students were late, some students forgot. But you all tried and you talked to me, and that's what was the most important part. I want to get to know everybody, and I want us to all have a close relationship. So in week 5, 2 weeks later, when we have class, we're going to do lots of speaking together. So make sure you write on your worksheet or type on your worksheet, and it's perfect. The idea is we just want to make sure we can understand. So after today's class, don't forget to send your worksheet whoosh, to eClass. Okay, and that's it. Today, I'm slightly more casual, so I'm wearing my cap. No problem. Everybody just be ready. And that's it. We're going to start with today's class. So no more laughing like over there. They're like laughing at me, but it's okay. We're on to food, and as you can see, the hearts are going out. We all want to have a heart because we all love food. Everybody loves to eat. So this week is actually about trends, but they talk about foods. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about foods, and we're going to talk about trends. So you will need the magic kill books that are all here. But first of all, I've got a slight activity that's on your worksheet. Now, when you look, and sometimes it'll say something on here about worksheet 1 or 2. Just make sure you use one of the worksheets, so page 1 and 2, or 3 and 4. You have a choice, and I don't care which one. There's slightly different questions on each of them, or some of the questions are the same, so just choose one of them, 1 and 2, or 3 and 4. Choice, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So just choose one of them and do it. So let's start, and I want to eat some apple pie right now. So let's go. I'm looking at that food. I want to eat it all. All right. So today's class, we're gonna do like discussion. We're gonna learn some idioms, and then we're gonna watch some videos. Now the video is for fun. It's not serious. I'm not so serious. I'm not super serious. I'm actually kind of a easygoing person. You won't know that yet. I like to have fun. So the videos are fun videos. Maybe not fun, but for you, but they're kind of weird, but they're fun. And then we're going to talk about, places to eat, good things to do, and you'll make some questions to ask for week 5 and 6 when we have class together. So here we are. We're on to idioms. Now, first of all, what is an idiom? An idiom is words with a literal meaning, like a real meaning, and then another meaning. So you can see there's a picture of a pig. Where is he? Where is he? He's here, right? Then you can see the pig, and they are pigging out. So I asked students before questions like, what's your favorite food to pig out on? Pig? You're not a pig. You are pigging out. It means to eat fast, eat a lot. In English, that's called gorging. So you can be like, oh, eat a lot, so gorging. So we're going to use idioms today. And what I did was I made your worksheet with idioms. And I want you to try to match the meaning. But before you do that, listen carefully and have a look. Here they are. There's a huge list. Now, this is probably going to take you 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes if you don't use a smartphone. If you use the internet, because you can pause the video, then you can do this super easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Frazer, no, over here. And there we go. I'm in the right place. I'll go through each one time. You can practice your pronunciation, repeat after me, and then we can go to the worksheet, and I'll show you the worksheet in a second. But first of all, we have apple of my eye. Next, have egg on your face. Bring home the bacon. Something fishy, or something is fishy. To be full of beans. Sour grapes. To butter someone up. This is a good one. Nutty or nuts. To have butterfingers. A couch potato. A piece of cake. A hot potato. A big cheese. A knuckle sandwich. As cool as a cucumber. A cup of tea. A bad egg. Like a fish out of water. Now, I'm British, so sometimes like butter, North American English would be butter, and water would be water. But I'm from Harry Potter country, so I speak like this. But I'm kidding, but not really. My English is British English. It's a little bit different. Even though it says USA on here, I'm from England. This is just a holiday t-shirt. So remember, your pronunciation is a little different to me. Doesn't matter. Everything's okay. So just try your best. So what I want you to do is go to your worksheet. Ba-bam! Wait, ba-bam! It's right here. So go to your worksheet, and I just want you to look and try to match them together. Now, first of all, try it with your brain. Like, try to think, like, what could it be? Don't be like, oh, just smartphone. Then you don't think. Just try. So have a look at the matching answers. So as you can see, there's 18, and we're going to try and match them together. Now, I think there's one that's actually wrong. So you might have to be careful. Bad Frazer. But I think all of them are right. So hopefully, don't worry if there's one that's wrong, because, I'm just, I'm kidding with you. But the idea is it should be perfect, and you should be able to match them easily. So the idea is just write the number next to them. If you do like cross, 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 we won't know. So remember, we have like to be uncomfortable in a situation, remain calm under pressure, someone that one likes a lot, something one enjoys or does well, to find something easy to do, important person, a leader, a punch, like punch. Next one, somebody who drops things, someone who's lazy, question or argument that's controversial, to have lots of energy, used when something is suspicious, to flatter someone to get their favor or friendship, to be slightly crazy, a bad person to be avoided, to be caught out or embarrassed, something is or someone is jealous about something you have, and to earn a living. I want you to match these together. First, try to do it with your brain. Just think. If it's super impossible, use your smartphone and then you can do it. I think smartphone's the best way, okay? So don't worry, just do your best. So pause the video, boop, and then we're gonna go through the answers. So remember, you make a mistake, not a problem. It happens, it does. So I'm okay if you've made a mistake. Let's do it. Apple of your eye, someone that you like a lot. So, oh, Frazer is the apple of my eye. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's right. So, someone you like a lot. Next one, bring home the bacon, to earn a living. You want to get rich. Next one, to be full of beans, lots of energy. Butterfingers, so like slippery hands, somebody who often drops things. Next one, to butter someone up, is to flatter somebody, to get their favor. So to butter someone up is to say nice things about them so that they like you, like lip service. So you're like, oh, you look really good today, or oh wow, you're the best professor. Now, some students said that to me, like, oh, Frazer, you're the best professor. I hope you're not buttering me up. I hope it's not lip service. I try. But the idea is you butter someone up, you say something to get their favor, like be friends with them. Next on, a piece of cake. It's easy to do. Next on, a big cheese, an important person, a leader. Cool as a cucumber, it means to be calm under pressure, like no stress. The next on, a bad egg, it's somebody to be avoided. They're a bad person. Scott? You don't know them, but yes. Next one, like a fish out of water, to be uncomfortable in that situation, like it's really strange for you in that place. So if I was to be in League of Legends match, I would be terrible. I would be a fish out of water. I wouldn't know what to do. It would be really hard for me. Next on, something's fishy. It's when something is suspicious. So you'd be like, oh, I can see somebody fishy. They look like a bad guy. They, like you don't know who they are. They're like in the corner, very like away from people. Not just shy, but they look bad. So he's fishy. They're fishy. Sour grapes is when somebody is jealous. Like maybe you get A plus, then your friend is like sulking and sad and I want A plus. That's sour grapes. Next on, nutty or nuts is to be slightly crazy, right? Crazy person, like wow, like oh wow, he's nuts. Next on, easy as pie, when something's easy to do. Couch potato is somebody who's lazy, just sits around on the couch, doesn't do anything. And here we go, it's the last one I think. Hot potato, it's a controversial argument or issue. So you'd be like, oh wow, that's very controversial. Another way would be like, oh wow, that's a hot potato. So you can see here, we have, the best one, a cup of tea. And I'm British, so we say it a lot. If something is your cup of tea, it's something you enjoy a lot. It's something you like. You do it well, or you go, oh, football is my cup of tea. Like I like football. Watching, Itaewon class, and I'm like, oh, Itaewon class, it's my cup of tea. It means I like it. It's good for me. So we use this expression. So, what I'd like you to do is after you've matched them together, is just to write down your answer on your worksheet. Now, usually in class time, I would give you one and your partner one, so you would have different questions. So don't worry that there is 4 pages on eClass. Just choose 2 of them, like 1 or 2, or 3 or 4. Just choose them, and then you can have a conversation with different people and talk together, okay? So everything is easy. So if you go here, you'll see here, bam, questions. Which member of your family is a couch potato? Write down the answer. Think about it, write it, speak it, say it aloud. It's great. What would be the best way to butter up your professor? Give 2 examples. So what do you say to make your teacher feel happy or professor feel happy? Who is the big cheese in class when it comes to speaking English? Difficult question, right? So you don't know the class member, so maybe you can do your family member. What music is your cup of tea these days? Like, what kind of music do you like to hear? Which class do you find to be a piece of cake these days? What's easy for you? You have online class, you know to write down the name of it in English. When do you feel full of beans? Lots of energy. When are you like really excited? Like, wow, it's time to do something. Which of your friends needs a knuckle sandwich? Now, on the last worksheet, when I gave the answers, I missed one. I told you I was a bad guy. The last one was a knuckle sandwich, and it was punching. So, remember, a knuckle sandwich is to punch. It's like elementary school joke, originally. You're like, are you hungry? Do you want to eat something? Oh, I have a sandwich. Eat this. Bang! Now, that's maybe not the real where it came from, but it's how we used to do it as children. And we all be like, are you hungry? You want a sandwich? Have a knuckle. Knuckle sandwich. Here is your knuckle. 1, 2, 3, right there. So we'd be like, bam! And we'd punch our friends, and then we'd run away because they'd punch you back. But it was just for fun. But it's a real expression that we use, and it's called a knuckle sandwich. And it's when you punch someone. So which of your friends needs a knuckle sandwich? Maybe your friend is always like, oh, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. And you just want to like little meme. You want to little punch them, like, hey. So maybe you want to give them a knuckle sandwich. It's not punch to the face, it's just punch, like we're just kidding as well. Don't punch people. Next one. Which of your friends is a little nutty or nuts? Who's a little crazy? You can write down the answer. So remember, just write down your answers. It's easy, okay? Write down a sentence. You can write down why, or you can give a reason because you're at home, you have time. If you don't have time, just write a short answer. But really, make sure you speak the answer after you've written it. It's just practice. So I'll give you like 5 minutes. So we're all finished and we're on to the next part. Now this is just for fun, just to talk together. Now, unfortunately, we're away from each other, so it is conversation class. So I want you just to think about your answer. You don't need to worry about answering, but I'd like you to try your best to just think about your answers. In class time, in week 6, we're going to do this, okay? So be ready, or in week 5, we'll do this when we meet each other, because we can talk a lot after we've had class together. So what I'd like you to do, I'll go over here. It's easier. Just think about, what's your favorite food? Do you prefer sweet or savory foods? Now, you see, look at this. Now here are some warm-up questions. Now, we don't have enough people to do warm-up questions because we're all alone here by ourselves. So what I want you to do is just to write down your answer somewhere. Practice your answer. If your English is great, you don't need to write it, but you can say the answer. But the idea is just think about it in week 5 and 6 when we do speaking. Then you'll be able to talk about these answers with your partner. So, what's your favorite food? Do you prefer sweet, so like sugar foods, or savory foods? So like no sugar, so like main foods. Where is the best place to go for a quick meal? Or for a nice meal? This means like an expensive meal, like for a nice place. Do you think alcohol or soda makes eating food better? What is a good combination? So think about what's good. As I say, you can write the answer, you can say the answer, just practice your English. What food is famous from your local area? So from your hometown or province, what is the best? What's famous? Would you recommend it to other people? Maybe it's not delicious, so you'd say don't eat it, but you want to just say what's the famous food from your area. How do you feel about fusion foods? That's like mixing, like Korean food and American food together. And how about vegan food? So if you don't know vegan, it's similar to vegetarian, but it's more strict. Only vegetables and foods that don't feel pain is the easiest way to think about this. So vegans are very strict. They only eat foods that are very healthy foods and not processed foods, foods that have been produced in a very loving and caring way, so it's good for the environment most of the time. Do you think Korean restaurant prices are reasonable? Yes or no? Do you think so? Maybe not. It's expensive, right? What is the most unusual food you've ever eaten? So I've asked similar questions before, just write it down. And the last one, which chicken brand is the best? Which flavor, which kind do you recommend? Are you Pringle? Are you snowing chicken? Are you like Yang Yum, like, like spicy chicken? What do you like? So if you want to write the answer down, that's good. You can write it in a notebook, or you can just say the answer, record your answer, and listen to your answer. It's just practice. So I'll give you a few minutes, so I'll pause it. Beep. And now you've finished, we can go through to the next parts. So it should be easy. Now, we now need the book. So, wrong way. Now we need the book. So what I want you to do is to take out your textbook. And in the textbook, I want you to go to page number 12. So we've skipped the first page, and it's going on all about food. And the idea is they talk about trends, and they talk about different kinds of food in here. So what I want you to make sure is that you're on the right page. I showed you the wrong one, so bad Frazer. So on here, there's many trend words, and I want you to write down next to them if they are positive or negative, like good trend, bad trend. So a trend is something that happens, like going uptrend or going downtrend. Popular trend, not popular. So it's what many people do together. We have a trend. So there's many trend these days. So first of all, I want you to read. Read the box, the green box, read the box, and just understand the words. Number two, I want you to do number one. So you've read this part here, and then you're going to do the next part. The next part is giving it positive or negative. So next to the word, write P, positive, which means good, like going upwards trend, or write N, which is a negative, a downward trend. So I'm going to let you pause it. You've read it. Make sure, don't forget, pause it if you've not read it. Read it. And then go and write down P or N next to each one. Now, the first one, it says, be a fad. So let's do it. It's negative. The next one, be old-fashioned. Negative. Be trendy. Positive. Go out of style. Negative. The next one, be a thing of the past. Negative, it's old. Next one, be on the way out. Negative, it's going out. Next one, come back in style. Positive. Lose interest. Negative, like it's not interesting. Next one, be all the rage. Bam! We're positive. Yes, finally, positive again. Next one, be the latest thing. Bam! We're positive again. Next one, gain interest. That's right. We're positive again. You see, it's all right. Next one, lose popularity. We're negative. Sad. The next one, be fashionable. If you're fashionable, you're not Frazer. Next one, be the next big thing. Ding. Positive is right. And the last one, gain popularity. That's right. Gaining. Get more. We're popular. Each of these expressions you can repeat after me. You can check your answer. Make sure you write next to them, and then we're okay. Now, what I did was made very simple questions. As I say, they're slightly different. Worksheet 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Just do one of the worksheets. This is all you have to do. Now, we won't share our answers now, but in a couple of weeks we will. So, as you can see here where it says page 12, trends, you just have to see the question. So, what is a trendy thing these days, like popular thing? Which pop group will be the next big thing, like new group? Which TV show is gaining popularity these days? What subject did you lose interest in since middle school? So, middle school you liked math, now you don't like that. What artist is a thing of the past? So, who's gone away, who's not popular now? What clothes style was a fad? So, what clothes style was really popular for a very short time? A fad is a very short time thing. So you can see that one. The other questions are a little different. Which actors have been gaining popularity these days? Which technology do you think is the latest thing? What can it do? Do you think trot music is old-fashioned? Do you like anything old-fashioned? What app is the rage these days, or all the rage these days? What is a fad to you these days? Remember, fad, popular very short time, not popular quickly. And which person had many issues, so they lose their popularity, so lost their popularity. What I want you to do is just choose one of them. You've chosen either page 1 and 2 or 3 and 4, and just answer the questions, write them down, okay? Pause me now. And we've finished. Now, I don't know the class time, how long this has taken, so I'm hoping it's the right time. We're going to take a short break. So pause it here, take a 10-minute break, go drink some coffee. I'm going to go and have a coffee, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do this. So take a break. Ding. Bam! We're all back. Hey everyone, it's good to see you. Hopefully your break was good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to page number 13. So just on the other side, up at the top on here, we're going to talk about the real conditional. And this is talking about things that are true or will happen in certain situations. They are used to talk about things that people should do, like imperative, like what is a good thing to do. Now, we have two parts of a conditional. So remember, the if clause, the result clause, or result clause and if clause. So I'll show you an example. If you eat pizza, you will be happy. This is true, right? You eat pizza, you're happy. Frazer might give you an A+ if you ask him nicely. No, it's not going to happen. You can't ask, you have to do the work. But it's an example. It's a if situation, a conditional. If something happens, we have a result. So in this case, we underline the if clause. If you eat pizza, here is the result. You'll be happy. And you can write the result first. Like Frazer might give you an A+, might, maybe, right? Might. Frazer might give you an A+ if you ask him nicely. Here is the result clause. So you can see this is an example of a real conditional. It might happen or will happen. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to look at the top of page 13. There's a small box. And I want you to look at each one and try to think what's the right answer. So there's 3 kinds. And it says use if plus present, and then present to, and then you have 3 choices, A, B, and C. And then you have number 2, use if plus present, will be going to, might to, and then it has 3. And then number 3, if plus present and imperative to. Now, in the textbook, there's a little box, and it gives you 3 examples. So I'll give you the examples, and then you can do it A, B, or C for each one. So the first one, it says, if you prefer good flavor to good looks, you will love this food. The second one, I might agree to try something if Barbara serves it. Number 3, if it tastes good, eat it. That's imperative, like the exclamation mark. Eat it. What I want you to do is look at the 3 sentences on there. You have 1, 2, 3, and you have a choice A, B, C. Choose the right one. So, pause me, and let's do it. So the answer is, bam, C. So number 1, if and the present to talk about things that are generally true. So use the present tense, the present to do that way. Next one. Use if the present will be going to, might be for future. So will be going to, might is all about future events, not talking about now. And the last one, use if plus the present, the imperative to tell someone what to do. So if we want to give an instruction, an order, that is imperative. You have to do this. So like the last one, if it tastes good, eat it, do it. You have to do it. So like the last example in the textbook. So these are the examples that we are going to use and talk about today. So I made your worksheet so that you can talk to your partner and you could just free talk together and give advice to each other, talk about something, tell them what to do. So I put them all on here, like different kinds of conditionals using the words from the worksheet, and I've combined them together with these ones. So on the worksheet they are there and they are on here too. I'll do it one time. I'll do it one time so that you can hear the pronunciation. And what you can do is you can write down the answer, like tell them what to do or where to go or what you think is a good answer. So if you want spicy food, what would you eat? If you won the lottery, what would you buy? If you want a good buffet, where do you go? If you want a good job, which company should I go to? If you want to sleep well, what should I do? What should I do if I want to get rich? So those are on one side. They are on one part of the worksheet. Just write down your answer and remember, record your voice. Hear what you sound like. I have to listen to me because of YouTube. I don't sound the best. Maybe my voice is a little ASMR, but maybe it's not. So don't worry how you sound. Just practice and hear your pronunciation. Remember, write your answer on your worksheet. If you have the other page, you have the other questions. So what clothes should I wear if I want to be trendy? Which music should I listen to if I want to listen to popular music? What haircut should I have if I want to be all the rage? So like really popular. What style should I be careful of if I don't want to be a fad, like lose popularity, like popular one day, next day not popular? And if I want to try something new or different, which food should I choose? So remember, just write down your answers here, or you have the other worksheet, you have the other ones here. Just write them down. Just practice your speaking. So, beep. Alright, we're back and now we're on to the next part. Now we're on to page 14 and 15. Now, page 14 talks about cooking. So we're going to page 15 because I want us to also use the grammar that they have. They have a very easy grammar to use today. So having a clause with after, until, and when. So it's just about time order, like which is first, which is second. So the grammar is not too difficult. I think all of you can do it. As usual, I'll go through the grammar box. So after, until, when. After you hear the recipe, you'll want to try it. So we hear the recipe, then we want it. Your guests will be so impressed when they try it. So when is doing something at the same time. So like, or when they do it, they'll like it. It's the same happening at the same time. Next one, you'll have to wait about 5 days until the kimchi is ready to eat. So the kimchi will be ready here. Here is the time. So we have to do this for 5 days. And then we're ready. So it's all about time order, like what happens first, second, and when is when things happen together at the same time. And two events are happening and we get the result. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to just think about it and try to answer the questions in the book. So maybe you can do it like super easy. Maybe. So what I want you to do is maybe you can do it super easy. Huh? Maybe. So what I want is for you to write the answers for number 1 and number 2. Look at the sentence and make a choice. Present or future? So, we ready? You can do it. So, the first one. Present. So, use a time clause with after, until, when. Present tense. Number 2. Keep the main clause of the sentence in future tense. So they're just talking about when to use them. Which part of the sentence should be in the correct tense. Now, maybe you're like a little confused about that. So let's try and do number 2, like the be part. So what I'd like you to do is look at be. And I want you to try to put in the correct form of the verb, and I want you to use it correctly. So that's all you have to do. Look at the tense of it and try to make the sentence right. So remember, use a time clause with after and when. So in that part, the time part, you're going to be present tense. Keep the main clause of the sentence in the future tense. So, number 1, after you the cake, I over and decorate it with you. So I want you to fill in the blanks. You have bake and come. So after is the time phrase. So after you bake is right. The cake, I will come and decorate it. So the first one is done. So pause the video, beep, and let's do the rest of them. So number 2, see, won't believe. So negative future, won't. Not anything else, won't believe. Next one, finishes, will travel, present tense, future. Will join us is, and will give and sees. So they've talked all about, or talked mostly about recipes and things like this. But I don't want you to just talk about recipes. I've asked a couple of questions that you can talk together with people and ask. Now, as today's class doesn't work out as a conversation class, as I said, write down your answer, practice your speaking. Next week, week 5 or week 6, depending, we're going to do this speaking together. So you'll have your worksheet and you'll be able to do this perfectly. The next class that we have when we're face to face, we'll all be speaking together. It's going to be lit. Lit means great. It's going to be fun. So first one, what was your dream before middle school? Just answer the question. What's the first thing you will do tonight when you get home? Maybe you're home already, so... next one, is there anything you need to do before you go home today? Like, do you have to clean your room, clean your dorm, like do the dishes? Once you finish this semester, what will you do? So try to think like that in the future. Before you get out of bed in the morning, what do you check on your phone? What's the first thing you do on your phone? When you were a high school student, like what music did you like? How long in the morning does it take until you are ready to leave? So this question is a little bit different, but it's asking you how long it takes to get ready. So how long in the morning does it take before you are ready to leave? Until you are ready to leave. These words are interchangeable in this case here, before and until. After you watch your favorite TV show, how long is it before you talk to your friends about it? So maybe you watch Itaewon Class and you live twitching, live streaming, like talking to everybody, like, you know, do it that way. And then you can just answer what's your favorite show. So as I always say, the questions are on here, some of them. And on here are the other ones. Now, I usually always get students to have different worksheets so that you can have different questions, so it's more fun. And as you can see here, it says 1 and 2. And on here, it says 1 and 2. That's because I want you to make 2 of your own questions, so that when you meet somebody next time, we'll have different questions to talk about, so that you can make 2 of your own questions using after, until, and when. So just make 2 of your own questions. So pause it. And now we are back. It's time. Now, what I did was I've changed it onto page 18. So I've skipped some of the book and tried to get through it onto page 18. Because in page 18 they have some discussion questions. I'd like you to do this discussion by yourself. As I say, in class time, in week 5, 6, we're going to do lots of speaking together. So try to have the answers ready. So if you have like a notebook at home, just write the answer. If you want to write it in this textbook, like somewhere on a page somewhere, no problem. But first of all, I made some easy discussion, like conversation questions. And then they get more difficult because in the book on page 18, the questions are quite hard. So I want you to make some notes in your textbook for part C. But first of all, I want you to think about the strangest food you've tried. Do you have any food allergies? Which food from another country do you like the least? What do you think about supersizing? Supersize means to make it bigger, the portion size. So when you go to like McDonald's, maybe buy a burger and they say, oh, do you want big Coke? Like that, instead of just Coke, big Coke. Or maybe they say you want set menu and they try and get you to get more food. Should fast food restaurants serve healthier food? What's your opinion? Yes, no, you can say. Are food portions too big for our health? Like the size of the food, is it too much? Yes or no, you're gonna say. What food would you like to see in a restaurant in this country? Is there any food from abroad that you want to see like regularly in Korea? Do you think it is good to count calories when you're eating? Counting calorie is you eat a sandwich and then you're like, oh, how many calorie? Or 100 calorie. Or drink, oh, my juice. Or 200 calories. And you're always checking. Is it a good thing? And the last one, which food is overpriced? So you can think about what you think is really expensive. What I want you to do after you've answered those questions, just write a short answer somewhere or practice your speaking, what you think the answer is. Maybe you think I'm crazy person because you're just home alone talking to myself. I'm home alone talking to myself. It's okay. We're all crazy. Look at the mirror, answer, speak English, practice. We have to practice because when we come and meet together, we're going to talk a lot. Now, you can pause me and you can start again because part C in the textbook has more difficult questions. And I want you to look at the questions in the textbook after you've done the easy ones and try to think of the answers. Just make notes in here. So the first one, it says, do you read the information on food packaging? Do you think it's important? Do you think it's accurate? Does it influence your decision? Yes or no? Yes, yes, no. Why? Write a reason. How often do you try new foods or brands of foods? How much do you think the packaging increases your curiosity about a new food item? Think of a time you tried something just because of the label. So when you saw a very pretty color or a nice thing, did you buy it because of that and then eat it? Talk about that. What other information do you think is important to know about foods? Should the information be on packaging? Why or why not? Just make some notes in your textbook and try to answer the questions as best as you can. So pause me now. All right. Now, the final thing is we have some words and they have a survey on page 19. Now, this survey, we're going to not do this part. We're going to try to do our own surveys and talk together. Now, a survey means to ask questions quickly, not long and slow. We're going to ask quickly. So, on your worksheet, you can see you have some boxes. I want you to fill in the boxes on your worksheet. So on your worksheet, ta-dang, it says question, name, name, name. So the idea is you're going to fill in the box, but you have to use these expressions to make the questions. How often? How much? The worst, the best, strange, and recommend. You have to use those words to make the question. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whew. It's correct. Yes, Frazer. So remember, you have 6 here. Make 6 questions. When we meet in class time, you're going to ask your questions to each other. So that's the idea. So pause me now. And now the final part of class is very simple. What I want is for us to have a little bit of fun. You can hear somebody else is speaking. This TV show was called Epic Mealtime. It's a YouTube channel. And they make very disgusting but delicious food for foreigners. Maybe you look at this and you'll be like, Frazer, that's terrible. Save me. You'll be like, oh, Frazer, 살려줘. Oh, 싱그러워. Like this. No, it's gonna be perfect. This was before mukbang, and they made their own YouTube channel. and they shot videos, and the idea was they made disgusting food. And I usually get us to talk about different kinds of like mukbang style and different kinds of food. So I want you to watch a video and just answer some questions. Now, the worksheet is already really long, so I've put the questions just onto here. So I'm going to show the link to the video. Go to the video, watch the video, um, and what I'd like you to do is just to think about these foods were creative foods when they made these videos. Nowadays, people make the same kind of videos and make mukbang and things like this. So I've given some questions for the video. Just try to write down the answers to the question. So watch the video and write write the answers down on some paper, and I'll try to maybe get a quiz and ask you about those questions next week's class. So watch the video and write down the answers, okay? Because I'm gonna quiz you a little bit. Obviously, it's not serious quiz, but I want to see who's paying attention, like who's listening. So the link is here, and you can click the link, and it'll go. Now I'm hoping it'll work. Oh, game over for Frazer. Nope, there you go. And you see it goes straight to the YouTube channel. Now I've stopped it just so that you can actually see that it's working, but the YouTube will work. I want you to answer these questions. If you miss something, don't worry. If you don't hear it, you can CC. There's caption. They will show you the words that they've said on the YouTube channel. So, how much do all the Big Macs cost? How much does a liter of the sauce cost? So, Big Mac sauce. How many Baconator? That's a kind of hamburger in Canada and America. Does he like vegetables? What is the name of the food they are making? In the Jack Daniel's meat sauce, how much fat is there? So I want a number. How many grams of fat and how many calories are in the final masterpiece? So the end product, how much is the total? How many layers of burgers were there? What two things are on the top layer? Now this video is just for fun. It's to hear different kinds of English, see different kinds of media. You might think that Frazer's crazy or nuts. I'm not nuts. It's just a different kind of English for you to hear today. So I'd like you to watch the video. I'd like you to try to answer the questions. And next week's class, I'm going to quiz you on this because I'll explain at the end, okay? Alright, and that's almost it. Just listen carefully. Remember, we're finished for the class today. But the 외국어 Center HUFS, they want us to make sure that you're doing your work online. So I don't want to give quiz and tests and homework, things like this, because we study hard in class time. I made sure my classes are 50 minutes so that you don't have to do lots of extra work. So what I want you to do is I just want you to upload your worksheet 1 and 2, like the docx file, onto eClass. So there it says like assignment on the point, just upload it. It'll check it for your attendance. So you'll have to watch the video, the YouTube video, and then just upload your work. And it's only to make sure that everything's okay. It's not homework. It's just to make sure that you've been doing classwork today. The university wants to make sure that everybody's doing their work. So I don't want to give quiz and tests and homework. I just want you to show me that you're doing your classwork. And then we're perfect, okay, guys? Like, everything is great. I have no problems with class. So when you sent it, it will be automatic. Your attendance will check. Last week, my attendance check took a long time because students sent messages all at the same time. So it took me ages to do it, and many of you were worried, but this way will be instant. So if you send it before the end of class day, you're fine. So if your class is Monday, you have Monday midnight deadline just to send to eClass your worksheet. Or if your class is Tuesday, you have all of Tuesday night, bam, we're perfect. Maybe you're Wednesday, then guess what? Bam, you're a genius, that's right. It's all you have to do is make sure that it's there. Now, Wednesday night, you've done it, just send it in. You finish it early, I will upload it early, you can send it early. But just make sure that you submit it to eClass before the end of your class day. Important notice, important. Wah, wah. I should make a noise. I'll find some noises and I'll make it. Yeah, wow. Everybody, it was really nice to meet you with your videos. Have a great day. Be safe. And I really want you to enjoy your time. So please be safe and we'll see each other soon. I've got my fingers crossed that it's going to be in 2 weeks. So everybody, take care. And you get a free heart and a heart. And I love everybody. So take care and let's go home. That's me. Like, let's go. Yeah. It's freedom. Everybody, bye. See you next week.